So a lot of you have been asking me if I could please share my process that I use to get this Bakelite finish on my Plastikov V4 Draco. It just so happens that I actually recorded some video when I made this initially, and that's what this video is going to be about. This video is going to outline my thought process and the steps that I took to make my printed drip and my printed dong look like actual Bakelite furniture. So as I was getting ready to build this Plastikov V4, I knew right away from the beginning that I wanted it to look a little bit more traditional. I knew that I did not want this to be like a space gun cyberpunk aesthetic. So traditional furniture was the way to go for sure. So typically with AK furniture, especially AKM pattern, it's either going to be wood, like this surplus Romanian kit right here, or it's going to be Bakelite. Now Bakelite is a type of early polymer. It was the first polymer that's been synthesized. It has a very specific look. The traditional Bakelite furniture is going to have this reddish hue to it. It's a deep orange. It's going to look a little bit weathered, and it's just a very specific vibe that I knew I wanted to go with on this Draco build. And I knew that I couldn't afford Bakelite for sure. Plus the Bakelite dong is just not it. I don't really like that aesthetic on the Bakelite dong, so I knew that I was going to have to make it myself. So with surplus furniture being out of the question, with buying Bakelite furniture being out of the question, I was going to have to 3D print what I actually wanted. So the grip came from Laugh. It's on his Odyssey. It's just the classic AKM grip. And the dong that you see is actually by Navigo Boom or Ivan the Troll, depending on whom you ask. His dong is not actually uploaded yet, so maybe one day he will, but that's between the Rat Man and God if that will ever be uploaded. That's up to him. But that is what I use here. I 3D printed both of those out of Polymaker ASA Orange. And the reason why I picked Polymaker ASA instead of regular PLA Pro or even nylon is ASA is much easier to work with than nylons, just first and foremost. It's also about a third of the price, and it reacts better in the sun in that it doesn't want to warp or discolor when it's exposed to UV light. Plus it's a little bit tougher than PLA, and I just really like the material in general. I print a lot with ASA, so I figured why not. So this is the setup that I used. I did this outside because it's going to be a very messy time, very messy project. I started off with camo spray paint, mud brown, and I just applied an uneven coat just in some spots. Now, the big thing with this project is you kind of have to trust the process. This is very much an art and not an exact science. So you kind of just have to stick with it and reapply a few times. Here I laid down some camo spray paint, and then I'm actually pressing it into the print as well as wiping it off at the same time. This makes sure that it gets in the print. I used Spirit Stain Cherry on top of some walnut stain. I just applied a couple drops of that cherry red in there to give it that deep red color. And I started pressing it into the print itself. This helps make sure it gets in those layer lines and actually adheres to it. I did this probably 4 to 5 times. That initial coat of spray paint really helps make sure that the stain adheres to it. It sticks on the spray paint, as well as it provides a good contrast between the colors of the spray paint and also the stain. So I applied this stain probably 3 times, maybe 4 times, and each time I'm pressing it into the print. This is actually adding a bit of texture to it, which helps give it that authentic Bakelite finish. Again, I'm wiping away the excess here. This is a key to any weathering technique, is apply and wipe away the excess. I decided that it wasn't quite dark enough yet, so I just went ahead and applied just the walnut stain as it was completely. Using my brush to add brushstroke type textures into it, pressing it into the layer lines, pressing it into the print itself, dabbing it a few times, and then I'm going to go ahead and again wipe this back off with a dirty towel. The dirty paper towel is going to help because it's going to retain those colors from the initial spray paint as well as the stain. So it's going to have all those extra colors and help get a nice mix going on. So I went ahead and let this dry in the sun for a while. Once I got to the color that I liked a lot. This particular step is optional. You do not have to do this, but considering that this gun is going to be actually used and loved, I went ahead and applied satin clear coat. I probably applied 2 or 3 coats of satin clear coat, and while the clear coat was still tacky, I'm adding texture with the dirty brush. If you look at a Bakelite mag, typically from Tula or from any manufacturer, it's going to have a brushstroke type texture to it. This is how I achieved that finish. I used a dirty brush while the satin clear coat was still tacky. I'm dabbing it, I'm applying texture to it, and also adding a brushstroke type texture as well. I did this for the grip, I did this for the dong, and I also did this for the mag that you see here. So the satin clear coat is not only going to seal the paint and stay in onto the print itself and help make sure it doesn't chip away, but it's actually going to darken the colors a bit. It's going to enhance them. It's going to really bring out the contrast between the walnut, the cherry, and also the spray paint. Traditionally, Bakelite also has a glossy finish to it, so this is going to help make sure that it looks a little bit more like actual Bakelite. You can see in the finished product here how it's aged over time. I'm about to run this in a competition at Winter Motherland, so I'm going to do a whole video on Winter Motherland where you can see this particular build in action, and we'll see how it does. I'm really looking forward to this. A lot of you have really appreciated this. A lot of you really like this build a lot, and I'm quite frankly shocked at how it turned out, so I'm glad that I'm able to share this with you. If you go down this road and you decide that you want to try this yourself, please by all means tag me in anything that you make, because I would absolutely love to see your finished product. This video is a little bit different from the content I usually make, so if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Let me know down below what you think, if there's any processes that I could probably do to make this better. And yeah, I'll see you next time.